folks. Welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Just earlier today, I recorded a podcast, gave you my take on the WWE, possibly talking to New Japan Pro Wrestling about a working relationship and Tony Khan's epic response. But now Chris Jericho is kind of chiming in here. He's kind of made a interesting comment saying that he isn't finished in New Japan Pro Wrestling by a long shot. This is ringsidenews.com reporting. So Chris Jericho is kind of throwing it out there and saying, hey, Nick, put the brakes on, buddy. Put the brakes on, buddy. Nick Khan, put the brakes on. We have a relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. AEW has a relationship with Impact Wrestling, not WWE. So you know what? I have unfinished business there. So I'm going to there are other opponents that I want to face in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Chris Jericho, the article says Chris Jericho has the ability to work for New Japan Pro Wrestling as an AEW contracted roster member. He has appeared for the company with the AEW world title in the past. He's not done in Japan, and he's made that point very clear. While speaking to TSN, Chris Jericho revealed that he's not done with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He has a lot of unfinished business in Japan, and he just has to wait out the pandemic before he could get back to it. It says there are many opponents that Chris Jericho has yet to face that he would like to check off his list. Though, quote here from Chris Jericho, there is a lot of unfinished business for me in New Japan. Jay White is one potential opponent. Minoru Suzuki is another that would draw big money. Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay, those four guys I love to work with. I love to do a Golden Jets team, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus Kazuchika Okada and Kota Ibushi. This holy crap, just thinking about that match is just fantastic. Or Okada and or Tanahashi and Okada or Tanahashi and Ibushi. Either one of those matches would be great. So he's looking to form a tag team with Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling as well would be very, very interesting, to say the least. He says, I think that's a Tokyo Dome main event right there. So there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do in New Japan. And as soon as we can start going over there again, I'm more than agreeable to doing more work there. I really enjoyed the 6 matches that I had there in 2018, 2019. And I think there's plenty of more. I think there's plenty of room for more. The subject of New Japan Pro Wrestling, this is not Chris Jericho talking, this is the article. It says the subject of New Japan Pro Wrestling is a rather conscientious one right now. WWE President Nick Khan was reportedly talking to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but Tony Khan fired back at that report. As I mentioned earlier, we'll have to see how soon Chris Jericho can get back to do New Japan Pro Wrestling. The pandemic seems to be slowing, but Japan still has a very strict entry protocol with a required quarantine time. But this is Chris Jericho saying, like I said earlier, put the brakes on, Mr. Nick Khan. Put the brakes on WWE. All right, the AEW has a relationship, and I'm going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's a lot of opponents that I want to face, and he's basically saying, that he would like to team. Well, what he says, he wants to team with Kenny Omega and take on various tag teams, whether it be Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi, Okada or Ibushi, or Okada and Tanahashi. He's kind of saying, we have great matchups in AEW with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So just put the brakes on, buddy. Put the brakes on. And I agree with Chris Jericho. I hope the New Japan Pro Wrestling AEW partnership remains. I think there are better matchups, in my opinion, with AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's a plethora of matches that you can put together, and I hope because when they're with AEW, it's not going to affect Impact Wrestling's partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well, because we all know WWE forms a partnership, and this is all apparently based around Daniel Bryan. But if they do form a partnership, it's going to be exclusive, and they're not going to allow New Japan Pro Wrestling to work with any other company except for them. And I don't know if that's going to benefit New Japan Pro Wrestling. What are they gonna Okada and what is going to be was it going to be a new day against Okada and Ibushi in a lumberjack or a lumberjack match where zombies surround the ring? Is it going to be a zombie match? Are they going to do that? Is going to have the Miz who was eaten alive. Is he going to come back as a zombie and take on Tomohiro Ishii? Are they going to do that? They're going to have the zombie versus Tomohiro. What are they? Anyway, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to go down that route right now. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to be knocking W. Well, yeah, WWE is in my opinion is not a very good promotion, but I just don't. I don't see New Japan Pro Wrestling WWE having a good working relationship. And again, their relationship is based around Daniel Bryan, as I mentioned in the last podcast, because Daniel Bryan wants to work for New Japan Pro Wrestling. WWE doesn't want to lose Daniel Bryan, so they're trying to work something out. But I don't think they're going to work something out. And here's Chris Jericho firing his shot, saying that he's not done with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I think we're going to see him back. I think once the pandemic ends, I expect to see Chris Jericho, and I would love to see Kenny Omega head back to a New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's get this Forbidden Door just knocked right off the hinges, and let's do something great once the pandemic ends. Let's do it for the fans, man. Let's do it for the fans. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. I'm Lewis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast, and until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye, and stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.